source said that they hated each other, but one of the producers walked away from the project and refused to finance the film as Blake Lively was the lead.
It was my first movie ever, and your faith in me.
Her secret plan is to always take control of the movies and lie to the directors to get it. This woman is a monster.
Tinseltown idolizes the radiant star until she smashes the studio gates off their frames. Blake Lively just launched a demolition charge through 2 arenas simultaneously, and the tremors refuse to settle down. On one side, she's headlining news.
If you look at that URL, look at the date on that, 12/16/2000, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? Not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay?
Radiant, beaming in Times 100 most influential figures feature, exuding elegance and unshakable poise. On the opposing front, she's igniting legal firebombs targeting director-producer Justin Baldoni, charging him with sexual misconduct, retribution, and a reputation-ruining defamation plot.
On Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie, It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. And was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. There's just so much more to this story, and the media's already like self-flagellating. Oh, we were too mean to Blake. And now you see text messages from Blake Lively comparing herself. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift.
Courtroom sources claim May 30th, 2025 might emerge as the streaming age's OJ trial. Judge Sanchez will decide if thousands of discovery pages remain confidential or detonate across every gossip outlet worldwide. If the seal breaks, expect unfiltered HR emails, late-night texts, and torn NDAs exposed for the public's entertainment frenzy.
But they believed her narrative instantly because the allegations were so strong. And I just kind of held fire because I don't trust the New York Times to save my life.
There are text messages that refute every single thing in that complaint.
And that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is when, despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years, she's best friends with Blake Lively.
Blake isn't merely battling for compensation. She's vying to overhaul the power structure she claims sought to silence her. If victorious, her bold, unapologetic strategy becomes the new template for A-list stars everywhere. Buckle up, because once Hollywood's secrets spill, you can't contain the chaos. Long before lawsuits and discovery filings, there was a softly lit Warner Brothers casting space in 2014. Disgruntled buyers aren't just ditching these inferior goods, but are also flooding platforms with viral protests demanding justice.
Shitty product with atrocious marketing. You have yourself a disastrous brand that will go out of business.
Blake's beauty brand is so bad they are donating her products to Goodwill.
Blake's cosmetic line is so flawed, they're giving her items to charity. Gal Gadot, combat-trained, nearly obscure, was trying on a cape and shield for Wonder Woman. Blake Lively, fresh from Gossip Girl stardom and eager for a worldwide franchise, allegedly stormed the same casting hall, insisting she could draw bigger crowds with one grin. Gadot secured the role, but whispers suggest the feud lingered, evolving into a subtle Cold War waged with courteous smiles on red carpets and frosty silence offstage.
All right, you guys, it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally, to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard.
You did not know both of their lawsuits have been consolidated into one legal showdown instead of these 2 separate lawsuits.
The New York Times apparently reviewed 1,000 or more pages of text messages. They would have seen it. Justin never wanted to hurt her, never wanted to be negative to her. And it's all over the place.
Jump to last week. A viral clip surges across YouTube, alleging Gadot finally admitted to peers that Blake attempted to pressure producers into recasting before filming began. The video amassed 2 million views in 48 hours. Perfect timing. Blake needs utmost credibility for her case. Gadot's revelation strikes like a missile on that trust. Fans choose sides quicker than buyers at a Marvel premiere. This concerns
Marvel?
This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the...
And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere. And that what in fact happened was you guys were the ones out there generating negative press against Justin. You guys were the ones who were trying to ruin
Justice versus DC debut. Every comment section turns into a battleground. Blake's a power grabber versus gals envious of the Hollywood queen. And we're just starting. Next comes the set where chaos unfolded. Spring 2023. A repurposed factory. In Englewood, New Jersey, buzzes with lighting setups and lavender-painted sets.
Flats.
And used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued.
Justin Baldoni controls the rights, the storyboards, and the director's seat, or so he believes. Blake arrives with top billing and, buried in her contract, a clause granting final approval on any script revisions impacting her character's arc. So
in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit, he accuses Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively of colluding with the New York Times. Do you guys remember what the article was actually entitled that they actually released on 12/21? We can bury anyone inside a Hollywood smear machine.
By week 3, those script edits expand like a runaway balloon.
I have no idea on what grounds these two are going to attempt to dismiss his lawsuit. I could understand some possible arguments that her publicist might make and fail, because I told you, he's got evidence.
Poignant romance transforms into a Crush the Patriarchy anthem, and half the planned locations switch to highlight urban female resilience. Blake smelled words, her one assistant director. She allegedly commandeers late-night rewrite meetings, strikes out entire page stacks, then marks new scenes in crimson ink. Baldoni watches his gentle indie film morph into an HBO-style tempest. Each time he objects, Blake reminds him her social media following overshadows his. A crew member recalls her saying, "I'm the star selling the seats, accept it." Minor. Skirmishes are sacrificed to keep filming going. Her costly chase scene stays. His nuanced two-shot gets cut. By wrap day, two visions coexist. His camera angles, her megaphone. Cast murmurs spread like wildfire. He's diminished. She's invincible. No one's guiding this ship. But the most cataclysmic script rewrite will land in court, not on final. Draft. December 4th, 2024, as snow dusts Park City, Blake's legal squad strides into Los Angeles Superior Court, filing a 127-page complaint fiercer than festival hype. She unleashes devastating claims: sexual harassment, toxic workplace, orchestrated defamation. Per the filing, Baldoni initially offered mentor-like support, then shifted to coercive advances. When she demanded creative control, he allegedly fed diva rumors to tabloids to deem her unmarketable. Blake rejects settlement cash, opting for all-out war, branding him a predator in progressive guise in her press release. Studios halt projects. Insurers frantically adjust premiums. Agents scour contracts for ethics clauses. X becomes a battleground where Team Blake trends with Justice for Justin, each side launching meme barrages. Hollywood's seasoned publicists gasp. A single misstep could shape the Nauer Me Too debate's next phase. But Baldoni isn't retreating. He's arming a bigger weapon. January 16th, 2025, Lower Manhattan. Baldoni's response isn't just a denial, it's a fiscal blockbuster. He sues Lively for defamation and civil extortion, attaching a $400 million price tag that screams news gold. He doesn't stop there. Ryan Reynolds, cherished wit and Blake's spouse, lands on the filing's co-conspirator list. Baldoni alleges a three-pronged PR scheme. Blake makes claims, Reynolds boosts with sly posts, publicist Leslie Sloan plants stories in friendly outlets, all to force him into relinquishing producer credit and profits. Reynolds, caught mid-shoot on Deadpool and Wolverine, reportedly fires off a scathing private text, "Drag me again, and I'll go full Deadpool on you." Baldoni's attorneys relish. Civil extortion opens discovery into Blake's full communication history, Reynolds' Quip archive, and every back-channel email from said advisors. Investors sense peril. Streaming platforms quietly adjust release schedules. The countersuit's message is clear. Want war? Let's play with atomic stakes. As Beverly Hills law firms bill hourly, crew members speak out. April 15, 2025, 11:47 p.m. E! News drops a bombshell notification rousing every entertainment journalist. A veteran camera operator claims Blake seized the production, tore through schedules, and berated Baldoni until he paled. 12 hours later, a lighting tech tells a digital tabloid Blake ridiculed Baldoni's shot list as amateur's first draft, then threatened to quit if her glamorous reverse angle close-up was cut. 2 grips add tales of overnight rewrites, forcing 20-hour days, screaming labor violations. Suddenly, the harassment story clouds. Is Baldoni the villain or the victim? SAG-AFTRA issues a neutral memo about respecting all members. Meanwhile, Blake's Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants co-stars post vague blue heart emojis, and Ryan Reynolds shares a gif of Kermit sipping tea. A digital shrug fans read as, "Wait for court, folks." The Crew Call podcast leaks that 3 more anonymous workers file depositions describing emotional coercion and manipulation by a star. The irony, every claim, regardless of side, inflates the film's value as cultural spectacle. It Ends With Us now feels like an unintentional documentary. But the industry's financiers weigh a darker calculus: risk premium math. While X roasts her, Time magazine prints Blake's radiant cover, calling her a force of upheaval. The issue hits coffee tables from Malibu to Mumbai, shifting public narrative overnight. Blake's PR team toasts, Baldoni's team calls it jury bias. Yet, far from glossy pages, the true verdict unfolds in skyscrapers owned by insurance syndicates. Completion bond executives monitor a risk talent score, a covert metric blending public sentiment, past budget overruns, and likelihood of set chaos. After the rhythm section's cost overruns and rumored clashes on a simple favor, Blake's score just tipped from tolerable to volatile. That shift can add 7-figure surcharges, scaring mid-budget films reliant on slim margins. A Netflix showrunner, off-record, admits, "We love Blake's draw, but the Bond premium guts half our marketing budget." Meanwhile, Baldoni's indie projects stall under their own insurance spikes. Guilt by association drags him down too. Hollywood's new rule emerges: start a public feud, and the risk calculator punishes both. The paradox: Blake's influence soars even as her hireability wavers. The risk calculator's biggest data drop looms on May 30th. May 30th, 2025. Dawn spills over Pershing Square, painting tower tops blush pink before cascading to the crowd encircling Stanley Mosque Courthouse. Satellite vans clog the curb. Boom. Mike jungles sprout along Hill Street. Fans hold vigil since midnight, camping chairs squeezed between steel barriers. Homemade signs shouting either "Justice for Blake" or "Team Justin Forever." LAPD deploys extra crowd control, not for riots, but for selfie stampedes. Eat control forever. Whatever Sanchez rules, the shockwave spreads fast. Agents, showrunners, and A-listers awaiting script approvals will hear before their lattes cool. When phones buzz, every greenlight meeting rethinks. Who holds power? Who's too costly to insure? Who owns the spin? One gavel crack answers it. Hollywood's timeline splits. Sealed silence or public carnage. The industry will spend a decade navigating the reality Sanchez scripts. When the dust settles and the last TMZ drone leaves, Hollywood will revise its unwritten rules. If Blake triumphs, megastar actors will cite her as proof you can overpower a director, seize a script, and still reign, provided you fight with fierce openness. Producers will rush to add contingency therapy budgets, bracing for the next Starviz director clash. But if Baldoni wins, Blake becomes the gleaming warning on every lot. Cross creative lines, and courts can strip your crown in real time. Either outcome redefines the balance between star allure and directorial control. Viewers won't watch It Ends With Us the same. Each frame feels like a clue in a larger war. Somewhere in London, Godot may polish her tiara, scroll headlines, and quietly prep for her sequel in a landscape Blake Lively reshaped, for better or worse. The credits haven't rolled. The final act awaits.